Hey, it's Scott with Mr. Mac, and it's time for Reddit Review Hardware Edition. All right, let's look at this one. MacBook 2022 M1. Is it swelling? Well, I will say that's not good. You don't want to see the clips that actually have your USB-Cs attached. A little trick you can do, push it up and then put two USB-C connectors in there. That's actually going to give you the ability to hold it up, and you can sometimes just click it back into place. There's a good question here about, is the battery swelling? Probably not. The battery is not located on this side. It's located on the front underneath your trackpad. Here's my boy right here. Red Potato says, LOL, battery doesn't really do anything. It's been in my MacBook 2016, was swelling for 4 years. Yeah, that sounds right. There's some overreaction here, like this guy. It's a literal ticking time bomb. You're a grade 8 idiot for using a swollen battery. Have fun when it pops. I understand the response from this is like, the battery's swollen, you gotta do something about it. But you can see here, okay, this is an old MacBook Air. You just got the logic board right here. You have a SSD right here. You got the CPU and the GPU, you got the heatsink and the fan. And that's really all there is. The rest of it, battery. You can see this one actually has two swollen cells. So these two cells, they're fine. These two, there's some carbon dioxide that's been released, which is normal when all these batteries reach their end of their life. This is something you do not try at home at all. But if you are in a situation and you have no money to spare, you can very quickly, not you, a professional technician can actually make a small, tiny incision right there and then just push the gas out. Look at that. Yeah. So this one's still pumped full of CO2. This one is nice and flat. It smells like lollipops. Do not do it just to smell it or do it at all. This has been your 10th disclaimer in a row. But sometimes there have been people, not in our shop, we would always replace the battery, who come in and have just popped these very carefully and then let the gas out so that their trackpad works. Because the main thing, unlike we see in this description right here, it doesn't pop out your USB-Cs because that's on the opposite side of the computer. But what it can pop out is your trackpad. So if that happens and you don't have the ability to get to an Apple store or a Mr. Mac location, have it properly replaced, that can be something that is done in the meantime and just push that air out. It'll go thin and it'll still work just like it did before. However, if you puncture into the actual anode or cathode at all and connect the two, this thing, if it has any charge in it whatsoever, will catch fire 100% of the time. So that's why we always make sure to have this big bucket of sand anytime we're working on this, so we can just dump it right on top of the computer. All right, next one. Let's try this one. Another M1 Air. Let's stay on theme here with the batteries. Hello, everyone. I'm replacing an A2337. Did not receive any pull tabs with the battery. I live in a third world country. Are these really necessary? There should be some sticky adhesive on the bottom of it, but the pull tabs didn't show up until the M2 MacBook Air. If there is absolutely no adhesive at all, it's just not working. There's no way to actually keep that thing in there sticking because it will flop around a little bit. The bottom casing keeps it pressed pretty good. The local iPhone tabs will work. This is actually a great idea because we've used these on installations on other MacBooks, especially the MacBook Pro series like 2013, 14, and 15. The battery would become unstuck and kind of bang around a little bit. And we had 2 or 3 customers come back over the course of 2 or 3 years and said, hey, this thing seems to be moving inside. So the iPhone pull tabs are excellent at keeping those batteries stuck. It's a great workaround, and for your situation here, I think that's a great solution for you. All right, one more. What else we got? MacBook without OS. All right, this one isn't really hardware. I have a problem with my MacBook Pro from 2019, which has no operating system and no battery, and it has a disk that comes from an Xbox, okay? I've already tried installing Sierra, Linux, Mint, Windows 10, and all attempts failed. During the Linux Mint installation, it boots into text mode and Windows 10 gives a blue screen or gets stuck. To get you into boot camp, you got to get Mac OS running on there first so it can build you a partition in order to then go and get you an actual working Windows operating system. So Mac OS is the first. I mean, you could maybe do some Linux stuff. Listen, the Linux community is going to have some forums on this, top to bottom. This may not be the right forum for this question, but let's see what we can do. You need a bootable installer. That's great. I have a USB, but anytime I try to install OS, it just doesn't work. So he's trying to install Windows 10, but he doesn't have a working Mac OS partition. Get the orders of operation right. If you want to install Boot Camp in order to install a Windows partition, you got to get the Mac partition first. Linux, apparently, you could skip straight to the Linux Mint, but it seems like we got some other challenges here first. So I think that there's some extra work here. I love that he's trying to use an Xbox drive because now we have a whole nother level where it says Xbox 360 drives. I've custom firmware that prevent them from being used on other devices. That's a great pull. So he's just trying to make this stuff work. But most importantly, if you're going to use a drive, go get a solid state drive. I mean, look at that. It's 94 bucks. It's on sale. And you get a full terabyte, and you're going to get performance that can actually run 3 partitions if it sounds like you want to do that between Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. So Godspeed. I got one more tip for you. Go ahead and get yourself Open Core Legacy Patcher. OCPL is the best way to run a 2009, 2010, 2012 Mac with even Sequoia. All right, especially with the solid state drive, throw 16 gigs of RAM in that 15-inch computer, and you're gonna be good to go. But first, if you want to see more comments on your favorite Reddit threads, let me know what that subreddit is in the comments below. Peace.